and not applying it. You wonder why the church people go through so much hell is because we know something and we don't apply it. We know a lot, but we don't apply it. See, application of what you know is what? Wisdom. See, the problem is the church, we got a whole bunch of people who know, but not a whole bunch of wise folks. Oh, my God, my God. I was looking at this thing. You ever been around a rowdy child? A child whose parents is not there, or the parents don't exercise discipline over the child, and you and all your friends look at each other like, whose child is this? They need to get this little scunion, right? They look at them like, I mean, they do. Or you see a child who's dressed shabby, hair all matted and dirtier than dirt. You're like, Lord, whose child is this? Look like they're abandoned. Whose child is this? Or you see a young man or young woman nowadays walking down the street with their pants hanging down to you know where. And you be like, whose child is this? This child obviously does not know what it means to even have their pants down like that. They obviously do not know who they are, because if they knew who they were, they would not walk around degrading themselves, causing their parents to feel a certain kind of way. They would not walk around with that mentality of saying that they are defeated. It's shameful for a parent. Whose child is this? It's shameful for a parent. It's shameful to the parents. It's shameful to the child who doesn't know who they are, because they have not been taught who they are, and their whole life will be marred in an identity crisis. An identity crisis is called shame-based identity. Look at the story of Gideon. Gideon was marred in shame-based identity, because if Gideon knew who he was. Huh? Oh, let me teach you. It says, and the angel of the Lord. Do you realize what that means? We're not talking about Gabriel here. We're not. Let me teach. We're not talking about Gabriel here. We're not talking about any of the archangels. We're not talking about Michael. It says the angel of the Lord. Literally, that's translated that God himself appeared in an angelic form before Gideon. If Gideon knew who it was that he was talking to, he wouldn't have had the audacity to say some of the things that he said. But see, you notice in this scripture, it says Lord several times in the scripture. Gideon knew that this was someone above the normal angel, but he did not have a clue who it was that he was talking to. But the translator of the scripture knew that he was talking to the angel of the Lord. So you see, Lord is capitalized several times there. Hallelujah. If people just only knew who they were, if they knew who they were, everything that they do, if they're marred in shame-based identity, is based on the shame of who they think they are. Who they think they are. It's based on the shame of who they think they are. If they knew who they were, it could change the entire direction of their lives. They could be going down the wrong road and then take a realization of who they are and say, I'm not going down that road anymore. I'm heading in a different direction because I know who I am. In other words, my internal spiritual GPS has identified where I am and identifying where I am going, and I will no longer walk in the wrong direction. I won't have to worry about taking a U-turn, because once I realize who I am, I've already taken my U-turn. Now I'm heading in the direction that I'm supposed to be going in, based on who it is that I know that I am. If young people would know who they are, it could impact the entire generation. It could. There are some times where my heart just cries out, because I know there's so many sleeping giants in our young people. So many who don't know who they are. There's so many that I can't even talk to, because I'm just old school and they new school, huh? That they think that I don't know what it is that I'm talking about. But I know there's some peers among them that know what it is that I'm saying, and they're able to bring that information to them in a way whereas it will turn their lives around. They're able to bring the information to them away, whereas the suffering that they were previously doing, they will know that that's just foolishness and that's not who they are. Yes, Lord. My heart's torn every time I see a young man with a young woman's mannerisms. Huh? It bugs me. It bothers me. It just burns me up inside. I'm not really angry at them. I'm angry at the liar. I'm angry at the devil for doing that to that child. It bothers me when I see a young woman walking around dressed like a man, or walking around acting like a man, carrying herself in a certain way instead of walking like she's a woman, walking like she all bowed or like she's a man or something. It bothers me, and it makes me angry at the enemy. It also makes me just a little perturbed at the church, because we should be doing more in order to make young people identify with who it is that they are. If we see a young woman who has a son, we as the church should embrace that son. We as the church, the men of the church, should embrace that son and help bring that son into the identity of who he is. My God, my God. When you see them walking around like that, it's just an indication of lack of identity. I don't know who I am. This is just an indication of what the enemy's doing. He wants to confuse us. He wants to confuse us by throwing up smoke screens. And no, you were not born that way. No, you were not born that way. Something happened so long ago that you don't even know it. Or it happened in the spirit realm in your family and you don't even know it. And you end up suffering through the things in the spirit realm that are going on because you don't know who you are. You're not able to pronounce and cast down that thing that's been holding your family back for generation after generation. It's a sad shame when you see 4 and 5 generations of sons that are in prison. The son, the grandson, the grandfather, great-great-grandfather have served time and are still in jail together. They have their family reunion at the jailhouse. It's a sad shame. It's a sad shame. It's a sad shame. You weren't born that way. But circumstances have been manipulated in the natural realm by spiritual wickedness that has brought this upon you. Not knowing who you are will cause you to act completely out of character of who you are. Oh, the enemy thrives on deception. He thrives on deception. He thrives on making you think that you're something that you're not. And you know the sad part about it is God opens up your understanding. God shows you in history the understanding of what's really going on in the spirit realm. But somehow, some way, we choose to listen to what the enemy is showing us, and we find ourselves just totally confused. Not knowing who you are calls you to act out in a way that's wrong. The enemy lies to keep us from the truth. And he's insidious. He's insidious. You ever ran across somebody that every time they, well, you know they lying because their mouth open? Oh, I'm just being real. You know they lying because their mouth open. The only time they're not lying is when they're laying down and they're still lying.
Lord Jesus.
You got to get 2 death certificates because you think he's lying on the first one. You ever run across somebody like that? Now, if you run across somebody in the human realm like that, think about who their father is. Their father is the father of each and every lie. So think about how insidious he is about lying. You know he's lying because that's who he is.
My Lord.
My God. Ooh, the enemy thrives on lies. He's insidious. In the same vein, he pressed the enemy of Israel into a campaign designed to remove them from the promised land. Verse 4, Judges 6 gives us the evidence of the hateful method the enemy used to crush Israel's spirit. He wasn't really caring about the grain and wheat. He wanted to mess with them as much as he could. Verse 4, and they encamped against them and destroyed the increase of the earth till thou come unto Gaza, in other words, the direction, and left no substance for Israel, neither sheep, nor ox, nor ass. Imagine now, being in a fight with somebody, and after you get whooped, that person sees your hat on the ground and stomps on it. That's an insult, ain't it? They see your purse laying over there and turn it up and pour it upside down. That's just a flat out insult. Now, they look into your face and walk over there after they done defeated you, done beat you down and spit in your face. That's an insult unto the very nature of who you are. And this is what the Midianites were trying to do to Israel. They were trying to to destroy them in every way that they could. They want to destroy their crops. They want to destroy their ability to reproduce. They want to destroy everything about them. And Israel, not knowing who Israel was cowering in a cave. Looking at Midian saying, Mufasa. Huh? Oh, my God, you get that tomorrow. In essence, that's what the enemies of Israel did. They wanted to destroy them. They went beyond just stealing from them. They stole all they could, and what they couldn't steal, they burned. Huh? It was all in an effort to destroy the peace of Israel. This is how the enemy works on you. He works in every effort that he can to destroy your peace. Because if he can destroy your peace, you won't be able to think on the goodness of the Lord. Huh? If he can destroy your peace, then you won't declare the words of God over your life because you don't have any peace at all. And if he can destroy your peace, then he ultimately can destroy you. My God. Compare that goal of Israel being torn in pieces. If he can destroy your peace, the enemy can destroy you. He can tear you to pieces. But compare that to the goal of the enemy. He comes but to do what? Steal, kill, and destroy. And he's insidious and methodical about it. Huh? The enemy will never present a picture of you in a coffin before you. Huh? He'll present a picture of you living the high life. He won't present a picture of you the cost of your living the high life. Huh? He'll just present a picture. He'll present a picture of a MasterCard Gold to you with an unlimited chargeability on it. But he ain't going to give you the bill to stay. Huh? He ain't going to let you know what it's going to do to you overall. He does not want to present that to you. Oh, my God. It gets deeper. I was reading a story the other day of Adrian. It's about a lady. And this happened in Memphis. Lord have mercy. Memphis, only in Memphis. A lady who had went on a trip somewhere. And she came home from her trip and she found the burglars in her house. It wasn't where they were running out the door because she happened to come up. They were sitting there having a meal. Huh? They were sitting there having a meal. Not only were they having a meal, they obviously had recently taken a shower or something, right? Because they were sitting there wearing their family's clothes. Huh? That's how the enemy is. Oh my God. He wants to think that he can come into your house. Wants you to think that he can come to your house and wear your clothes. He wants you to think that he can come into your house and take charge of everything. It's one thing to steal and run, but to have the nerve to let your presence be known. Huh? Thief has no respect for you if you let his presence be known. I'm going to steal from you. You better not do nothing about it. Huh? My God. Look at verse 5 here. Let's look at this. For they came up with their cattle in their tents, and they came as grasshoppers for a multitude. There's a lot of them, right? For both they and their camels were without number. They entered into the land to what? To destroy the land. To destroy the land. They came up with their belongings, and they had printed out an eviction notice for Israel. Yep. They didn't hide their intent. They were so audacious in their intent that they showed their intent to the children of Israel. Yeah. How crazy is that when the enemy thinks he has you on the fence and he shows his intent? He will only reveal his hand once he has torn you down. Yes. When you are so far away from who you are, when the enemy sets up a camp next to yours, a support base for his operations, and doesn't care if you know where the camp is. But looking at the story of Gideon, we find, looking at the story again, we find that he asked a question in verse 13. And Gideon said unto him, O my Lord, if the Lord be with us, why then is all this befallen us? But does that question even deserve an answer? Does it even deserve an answer? Yet, verse 1 of Judges chapter 6 gives us the root cause, and the Lord did answer why. Though just a little knowledge of what pleases and displeases God will answer that question for you. The Lord sent a prophet to Israel to tell them this is what's going on before he appeared unto Gideon. If the Lord did not care about you, he would have sent someone to speak to your situation. There's not a person on this earth that ever existed will be able to say that I did not know that something was greater than me in the earth realm. Right. No one will be able to say, because the Bible tells us that God reveals himself in nature to each and every creature that is made in his image. Right. The Lord sent a prophet to him and told him. The prophet cried out and told him, it's because of if and then. It's if and then. If and then. Simply if and then. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, as verse 1. Which is the if of it all. And the then being, and the Lord delivered them into the hand of Midian 7 years. So the process goes, if you are disobedient, you will suffer the consequences. God is not to be mocked. If you are disobedient to God, you're going to suffer some consequences. You need to understand that. You're going to suffer some consequences, okay? So, we have a generation of church folk who want to live the way they want to live. And then ask, why? Why is this happening to me? They want to live the way they want to live, and they're wondering why all these things are coming up on them. Right. If you halfway church folk, then you understand Deuteronomy 28 says that if you do this, then I will do that. Yeah. It says that, it tells you, all we want to hear nowadays is you're on the head and not the tail. We don't want to hear what God says about what it is that you do, that I'm going to allow to come up on you if you do. Oh my God, a whole generation of church folks who want to ask why. What was going on with the children of Israel? Well, they were experiencing the den of their ifs. Judges, the 7th book of the Bible, gives us reason. They had to have judges over them because of how they were being disobedient. But Judges, the 7th book of the Bible, chapter 6, verse 1, tells us that God punishes sin. And it speaks back to Deuteronomy 28. God told Israel also to utterly destroy everything that is in the land that I promise you. He mentioned the Amalekites specifically to destroy them. He said, get rid of them, because if you don't get rid of them, they're going to become a thorn in your side. I'm God. I'm here in the present. I'm here in the past. I'm here in the future. And I know what they're going to do to you if you don't get rid of them. My God. He said, destroy them. Destroy them out of the land. Destroy them out of the land that I promise you. Because if you don't destroy them, you're going to pick up their habits. You're going to start acting like them. You're going to start dressing like them. You're going to start listening to the same thing they're listening to. You're going to start watching the same channels and shows that they watch. You're going to start, let me stop. You have to utterly destroy things that will cause you to pick up habits. Because you will begin to be that thing that you should have destroyed. Some of you say, and I know a lot of you say, Pastor, come on, it's just a little habit. But habits are the building blocks of character. And character is determined of whether you are blessed or cursed. Your character will determine whether you hear, well done, thou good and faithful servant, enter into the joy of the Lord, or poorly done, get out of my face. There's a saying that says your thoughts become your actions. Your actions become your habits, and your habits become your character. If you do, then this will befall you. Often we ask the question, Lord, why me? Often we ask, Lord, why me? Why am I going through this? Why am I going through this? Everything that you go through is not necessarily for God's glory, but it's so that God's word is going to be fulfilled. If God said that if you fail in this area, I'm going to let this happen to you, and it does not happen to you, that makes God a liar. But let's be honest. If we can really be honest with ourselves, we must admit that we brought about our issues, which has caused that great divide, which has caused us to lose contact with who we really are. Now, why is it now? Somebody please answer. Why is it that we want the cursed things but not the curse? Huh? We want the thrill and glam of the cursed things, but we don't want the curse that comes along with it. Huh? We want what invites the curse.